Empowering growth through music and creativity. That's what Salt Lake Creative Therapy is all about.
Dani Crow is a music therapist joining us now to share how music therapy heals the mind. And it's true, sometimes when we hear sounds, it immediately calms us down.
Yes.
Why is that?
So music is perceived across both regions, both sides of the brain, all regions of the brain. And so when we are upset and stuck in one area of our brain, music therapy can help us through using tools very specifically to help relearn those strategies, some coping skills to manage that stress.
This is fascinating and not something that I know much about, but I love the idea of helping heal through music. What are some of the things that you've brought? This is what you might see in a session?
Possibly. We also use guitar, piano, and any other instrument that you can bring into the clinic, and that's what we'll use. So I just brought what I could carry today, but everything from buffalo drum, which is modeled after a Native American drum. We have a djembe, which would originate from Africa. We have wind chimes, which helps gain people's motivation, right? Because it has little effort and long sustained sound. You're welcome to give it a try.
Which one? This one right here?
Sure.
This one?
Yeah.
Any of them?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There is something very satisfying.
It is. So with very little effort, this is accessible. So those with physical disabilities who are maybe stalling in rehabilitation goals, maybe they could use music therapy to regain their motivation.
Yeah. And then what does someone, like how do you experience the sound? Someone comes into your therapy session and then do you just make the sounds or do they make the sounds?
The music therapy is a very intentional use of music. We use all different kinds of music, whether that's listening or actively making music together. We could be using improvisation, which is making up music as we go. We also do a lot of songwriting and discussing lyrics.
There has to be an element to it too, where at first you might feel a little out of your element, you might feel a little silly, but then once you start, you'd be joyful, you're playing again.
Yeah, sometimes it is just that open door to experience joy again.
Well, Dani, who is this for? Is it someone who is suffering a particular ailment? What types of mental health issues are people coming to you for?
Yeah, that's a fair question. So I work with all ages and all abilities. I'm a state certified and nationally board certified music therapist, and so I work from I've worked with premature infants in the neonatal intensive care unit all the way to hospice at the end of life and everything in between. So I specialize in working with neurodivergence, that's mental health, that's depression, anxiety, autism, ADHD, OCD, any of those, and especially post-traumatic stress disorder.
And what do you see as somebody is spending that time with you, playing with the instruments, hearing the sounds? What is the growth that you see?
Sometimes it's really surprising. I get a lot of referrals from professionals who aren't seeing progress in their clients, and clients want to give up on therapy. And then this is kind of the Hail Mary where they're like, well, nothing else is working, why don't you try? And so someone who's had no speech for 2 years after having a stroke comes to see me and suddenly they're interacting with their family again and they're developing speech, and we work closely with speech therapists to be very intentional in what we're doing with them to stay in line with what's healthy for them.
Okay, I might be putting you on the spot, but say we are coming in and saying that we are suffering from depression. What does an experience look like? What would you pull? What type of instrument would you do? And what would you say during that?
So research done by Michael Silverman suggests that improvisation, songwriting, and lyric analysis may be best to help improve depression symptoms.
Would you demonstrate something for us? Like put us through some of it of like what you would say and what instrument you would pull.
Right, so let me grab this one. Let's talk about mindfulness strategies, because I don't know about you, but like learning how to meditate was really difficult for me, and it's difficult for a lot of people because when you have so much going on in your mind, you don't necessarily want to focus on that, right? So something like this instrument called an ocean drum gives you a visual and auditory stimulus to direct your mind into mindfulness and allow you to bypass some of those distracting thoughts. So you would simply tilt the drum side to side, and you can see the balls are moving.
That's a satisfying sound. I think sometimes too, when it's like if you take your child to therapy and they're playing, they have toys, they're doing something else while they're talking. I think sometimes just getting yourself out of your head and in the present by like doing an activity, right?
Yeah. Alternate engagement. So when you are stuck in that anxiety loop, you are stuck neurologically. So by engaging in something different, you are giving yourself an open door into other areas of your brain so you can process things better.
Okay, should we demo?
Let's do it. Do you want to do it again?
something?
Okay.
Let's
I've
do
got
some
the
music.
xylophone
All right,
again.
so for more information, where can people have music therapy, Danny?
My private practice is Salt Lake Creative Therapy, and you're welcome to visit our website at saltlakecreativetherapy.com.
This is very cool. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, me.
Anything goes, right?